Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to KMVT Sports. Today we bring you the very first game of softball for both Mountain View and for the St. Francis Lancers. There's no real stats to tell you because first game of the season for both of these teams. But here's a little bit of warm-up for you. As we get started for the softball season, we always know that the St. Francis Lancers always bring a really good team. Mountain View would like to be able to get a strong start by beating these St. Francis Lancers.
Batting first for the Spartans, Caroline Kim.
And now we have baseball. Batting first will be Fairline. Ball one will start off this game. Coaching the Mountain View Spartans is Xavier Cook. And assistant coach, Wes Raguini. We got 2 balls, 1 strike. And for the St. Francis Lancers, they are coached by Mike Oakland. Caroline Kim pulled back on that one for a strike. And that's strike 3. That's how our game begins.
Strikeout for Haley Nguyen, now batting Raven Rasmussen Daly.
Pitching today for the Lancers to start off is Haley Nguyen. Strike 1. Shows bunt, and that makes it strike 2. Raven Rasmussen Daly is our batter for the Mountain View Spartans. And as she faces an 0-2, here comes Haley Nguyen, throwing just right at the plate. One ball, 2 strikes. Right up the middle. That'll be a base hit for Raven. Allison
now batting
Marcelino comes up to bat. Raven hugs the base on first. First pitch was a little high for Haley Nguyen. That one comes in a little high and a little off the plate. Ball 3. Ball 4. 4 pitches and a walk.
Base on balls, now batting, Casey Spalding. Timeout. 2 batters on, 1 out.
So we have a coach's timeout here.
Courtesy runner for the pitcher. Number 7, Tasha Buell.
If they tell you to get off, you might have to bring it back into the batting cage.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it.
Put your camera over there.
Okay.
First pitch in is a ball. Casey Spalding is the junior who's at bat. That one was high. Comes off the plate, and the runners will advance. Now we have runners at second and third.
Pass balls, runners advance.
Umpire has a word with the coach. Casey faces 2-0. Haley Nguyen with the pitch. And that's a strike. The ball comes out of Haley's hand really low.
And Breen, can you hear me?
Swing and strike that time. 2-2 is the count. There are runners on second and third. Swing and strike. Number 3, that's out number 2.
Second strikeout for Haley Nguyen. Now batting Leilani Tanalio.
Leilani Tanalio coming up to the plate.
Camera 3.
Leilani is a junior. She wanted that one back. That's strike number 2. 2 outs. Mountain View does have 2 runners, and they would really like to capitalize on that. Just barely off the plate. Swing and strike. Strike number 3.
Strikes out the side. Bottom half of the first coming up.
And that'll do it for the top half of the first, and we'll be back for the second part of the first.
And I'd like to thank the Cranberry Scoop. The Cranberry Scoop is an iconic gift boutique in downtown Los Altos, providing unique items in a charming retail space. The Cranberry Scoop, the gift store that locals love. And we'd like to thank Jen Paulson. Jen Paulson brings unparalleled design development skills to real estate that helps her clients reach their dreams. Jen is the top 1% of realtors in California. Born and raised in Los Altos, she's dedicated to the local community. Jen Paulson, Silicon Valley's top realtor, the realtor for you.
Welcome back to St. Francis High School for our very first game of the season for softball. We have the Lancers of St. Francis versus the Spartans of Mountain View High School. Pitching for Mountain View is Allison Marcelino.
Camera 3, taking camera 3.
Batting first is Gunsager for St. Francis. 1 ball, 1 strike. And early on, we're calling time for Mountain View. The skipper for Mountain View is head coach Xavier Cook. Wants to make sure his players are ready for what's going to be coming at him. Lining up at first base for the Mountain View Spartans is Gianna Serpa. At third base is Allison Marceliano. Excuse me, that's pitching is Allison Marciano. Leilani is lining up at third. A lot of chatter going on over in the dugout for St. Francis High School. Ball 4.
Ball 4. Now batting for the Lancers, Jamie Oakland.
Jamie Oakland up to bat for the St. Francis Lancers. Runner goes, but the bunt goes out of bounds. Foul 1 equals strike 1. Runner goes again, swinging, going to second. Runner stays at second, as it was a poor throw
Runners advance safely
by the
batting for
second baseman.
Peyton Sow.
I don't think the shortstop was actually set up properly. Batting for the Lancers right now is Peyton Sow. She swings the very first pitch, and that one's going into the parking lot. Ball 1. Very strong swing by Peyton. And another one into the parking lot. Glad that wasn't my car. We got runners at first and second. Nobody out. 2 strikes. And the pitch into the dirt, and runners will advance.
Runners advance on the pass ball.
We have runners at second and third. Lancers in good position to score. And that'll do one. Caught at the wall. That brings in 1. and another. The ball sails. That'll advance all three of them.
3-run score for the Lancers.
And that is an inside the park home run for Peyton Sow. As her ball goes off of the back wall.
Go a little wider.
Ava will bat up next for the St. Francis Lancers, and that first pitch is a strike one. Strike two. Almost right down the middle.
So camera 2, Margaret, you're doing a great job.
Ava Belanti pulls the ball over into foul territory, right over the out of play. Not accessible for Mountain View. Lancers are up 3-0. On that bomb by Peyton Sow. That one will go right into the hands of the shortstop, of the second baseman, excuse me.
Now batting for the Lancers, Hayden Hummel.
That was Nayla Rocha was the second base lady who caught the ball. Up to bat right now is Hayden Hummel. Hayden takes ball one. Here at the top of the first, 3-0 Lancers. One out. Hayden takes ball two. Nobody's on the plate. Nobody's on the bases. Hayden hits a single out into the outfield,
Base hit
left
for
field.
Hayden. Now batting Bells Sandoval.
Raven collects it and sends it in. Isabel Sandoval now up to the plate with Hayden on first. Shows bunt. Here goes the runner. Pitch to the second. Safe at second is Hayden.
Runner is safe. Hayden Hummel on the stolen base.
St. Francis staying aggressive here in the first inning. And the pitch. And it's ball two. The pitch to Isabel Sandoval. Takes it for ball three. The runner at second base thinks about going. A strike one comes in. Allison Marcelino. Pitching, needs a strike. That one gets hit right up the middle for a base hit. And runner comes in to score is Hayden Hummel.
Base knocked by Bells Sandoval brings in a run.
Sandoval, Isabel Sandoval gets to first. Hayden Hummel
Gabby Rocha.
off the steal, finds her way all the way at the home plate for the score. Here comes the stolen base. See if. Oh, got her out for the out. That's out number 2 for Mountain View.
Sandoval thrown out on the steal attempt.
Good throw by Maliana, the catcher. That one gets hit in left field. Raven falls down as she tries to get it. It's going back to the wall. Runner's going all the way to third. Safe at third.
Big swing by Gabby. Triple.
Gabby Rocha with the triple.
Now batting for the Lancers, Maliana Liangatao.
Maliana Longatao for St. Francis Lancers up to bat. The runner on third. Swinging at the first pitch. Was a little low. Lucille Hutchins is the catcher for Mountain View. She was able to stop that. Pitch on the right-hand side of the plate. Called for strike 2. And Allison pitches strike 3. That is out number 3, and that's going to do it for the first inning. Lancers are on top 3-0. Welcome to the top half of the second. Quick correction for the score. It's actually 4-0. In that first inning, we saw Peyton Sow hit a couple foul balls into the parking lot before she slammed one off of the wall for an inside the park home run, which brought in 3. The scorekeeper forgot to update after Isabel Sandoval crossed the plate for 4 runs for the Lancers, and the Mountain View Spartans are now up to bat, see what they can do. Gianna Serpa is at the plate right now for the Mountain View Spartans. She's taken 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's strike number 3.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Haley DeWin, number 4.
Number 14, Haley Nguyen, still
Spartans, Lucille Hutchins.
at the pitching mound for the St. Francis Lancers. Batting for the Mountain View Spartans is number 8, the catcher, Lucille Hutchins. First pitch is a ball. Second one is a strike. Looked like it hit the lower left corner of the plate. Swing and a miss. That makes it strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the second. St. Francis Lancers on top 4-0. Just catches the plate for strike 3.
Now batting for the Spartans, Courtney Napo.
Courtney Napove up to bat for the Mountain View Spartans. This will be her first at bat for the season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Courtney DePoe takes the ball outside for ball number 2. Shows bunt. Runs backwards and hits the ground for a foul ball. Strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the second. It's ball 3. We got a full count here. Courtney's looking to swing. Goes right to first base. Good catch that time for out number 3. And that'll bring us to the bottom of the second. It is 4-0 Lancers. Welcome to the bottom of the second here at St. Francis High School, where Lancers are leading the Mountain View Spartans 4-0. Right at the middle. That'll be a base hit for May. May Meltz.
Maya Meltz now batting for the Lancers. Arica Gunsagar.
Arigar Gunskar. Up to bat for the Lancers with Maya Meltz on first. Pitching for Mountain View is Allison Marceliano. Low over to first. Going to third, and they can get the runner at third. She's in a pickle. Safe at third. And Maya Meltz got into a pickle between second and third.
And Maya Meltz beats out the pickle. Now batting, 2 runners on and nobody out, Jamie Oakland.
Looks like they called Gunsikar safe at first. So we have runners at first and third right on the corners with only 1 out here in the top of the second. Or excuse me, bottom of the second. As Allison checks the plates. Throws it in, sees a bunt, and that'll be foul ball. Jamie Oakland is the batter for the St. Francis Lancers. Runner goes to second. That's a stolen base for the Lancers. Runners on second and third.
Didn't get it either.
Ball number 1. As Jamie hits it right at the middle. Gets the out at first, but they do score.
Jamie Oakland brings in a run on the fielder's choice. Now batting, Peyton Sow.
Jamie hit the ball right back to the pitcher, Allison, who threw it over to first base. Is for a fielder's choice as the runner scores from third. And now we have a runner on third who advanced from second.
Camera 3, can you zoom out and get both of them?
Looks like Peyton Sow is up to the plate right now. We know she likes to swing hard. as she scored first for the Lancers with a 3-run inside the park home run. You can see Allison Marcelino is trying to pitch a little outside, as that one is no exception. That's right into the outfield, caught. And the runner from third is trying to score and does.
Sacrifice fly by Peyton Sal brings in a run. Now batting for the
Gonzagar
Lancers,
crosses
Ava
the plate
Blunt.
for run number 5. Excuse me, run number 6, as 2 have scored in this inning. Stepping into the box is Ava Belanti. Ava Belanti takes strike. Strike number 2. That one's a little high and outside. Nobody on the bases for the Lancers at the moment. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the bottom of the second. Lancers lead 6-0.
Alley punches out the final out.
And that's strike number 3 for out number 3
Top of the
here
third
to
short.
close out the second. The top of the third coming up next with the Lancers leading 6-0. Leading off the top of the third is Anaya Payne.
Yeah, but we can't get a good right-hand shot. Coach is right there. Camera 1. Take camera 1.
Anaya Payne takes strike 1. We still have Haley Nguyen pitching for the Lancers. Payne takes a swinging strike, strike 2. It has been all Lancers so far in this game. Mountain View did have a couple runners get on base in the first. Threatening to score. They were at second and third and nobody out but Haley Nguyen was able to get out of the jam in the first and now finds herself pitching here in the third. Strike 3, that's her first out for the third.
Swing and a miss. Now up for the Spartans, Caroline Kim.
As Caroline Kin steps into the box. That's a solid strike right down the middle. A little low. That one a little high, but right down the middle. And that one fouls back. Count still 0-2. 1 out here in the top of the third.
Strike 3
Called strike 3.
Now batting for the Spartans, Raven Rasmussen Daly.
Parents don't necessarily agree with it, but called strike 3. 2 outs. One of the Spartans that got onto base last time was Raven, who's now up to bat again. Raven Rasmussen Daly, who hit the ball right up the middle. Not afraid to swing against Haley. Takes ball 2. Looks over to the coach, Xavier Cook, shouting from the third baseline over at Raisin. Two balls, one strike.
Let's do a zoom in on the batter.
Umpire took a quick timeout there.
Gotta be Brent.
And now the batter takes the timeout.
Breen, can we get a
Raven preparing herself, taking a deep breath, gets back into the batter's box. Just a bit outside and a little low for Haley Nguyen. Raven now faces 3 balls and 1 strike. She does not have to swing. And that one's a little high. That'll take Raven off to first base, and it's the first
Raven
time
draws
since
the
the
walk.
first inning
Now batting for the Spartans,
that
Allison
the
Marcelino.
Spartans have had a base runner. Marcelino steps into the batter's box. Allison was able to get on base last time as well. And Raven gets back to first base. She was threatening to steal, but was able to dive back into first base safely. So 1 ball, 0 strikes. And now she runs for it. And she's going to be a little late. That's going to be out number 3.
Maliana with the throw out.
Closes out the top of the third. And the Mountain View Spartans still looking for their first run. It is 0-6.
Next half of the inning.
Lancers. Bottom of the third at St. Francis High School. Hayden Hummel into the batter's box. Starting off the third. The bottom of the third. Back to the pitcher's mound is Allison Marcelino for the Mountain View Spartans. Swing and strike for strike number 2. Hayden Hummel was able to knock a run in at her last at bat. One ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch.
Strike 3 called.
Strike 3 on Hayden
Now batting
Hummel.
for the Lancers, Bells Sandoval.
Isabel Sandoval comes in to see what kind of damage she can do. Goes right back to the pitcher and over to first for the out. That's out number 2.
1-3 put out. Now batting for the Lancers, Gabby
Swinging at the first
Rocha.
pitch. Gabby Rocha coming in for.
Just kidding, foul ball.
Oh. Excuse me, I was correction. It was not an out. It was a foul ball. Coming back up to bat is Isabel Sandoval.
Timeout, Blue.
Skipper is trying to find out why why it was called a foul ball and not an out. It did look like the ball bounced in the batter's box before it went out to
Play ball.
Allison and the pitcher's mound. So I think that's why it was called a foul ball. By home plate umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Two and two, bottom of the third. Lancers still lead 6-0. Swing and strike, and now it's an official out.
Now batting for the Lancers, Gabby Rocha.
As Gabby Rocha approaches the plate. Something new this year for the Lancers is walk-up music. Not sure if we're going to get flagged for copyright issues. So you may hear some of the music drop out every now and then. Gabby Rocha hits it directly to third. The splits over at first base to get the out, and that's out number 3. Good defense by the Mountain View Spartans. As we head to the top of the 4th.
Splits by Gianna Serpa.
And I'd like to thank the Cranberry Scoop. The Cranberry Scoop is an iconic gift boutique in downtown Los Altos, providing unique items in a charming retail space. The Cranberry Scoop, the gift store that locals love. And we'd like to thank Jen Paulson. Jen Paulson brings unparalleled design development skills to real estate that helps her clients reach their dreams. Jen is the top 1% of realtors in California. Born and raised in Los Altos, she's dedicated to the local community. Jen Paulson, Silicon Valley's top realtor, the realtor for you.
Welcome to the top of the 4th. The Mountain View Spartans still looking to get on the board. In the box, in the batter's box right now for Mountain View is Allison Marcelino, who's been pitching this game. Speaking of pitchers, we got a new pitcher for St. Francis. Mercedes Collar pitched in her first strike right there. Or excuse me, ball. The first pitch was a strike. Second one was a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th. That one a little high. Swinging strike from Marcelino. Strike 3 called.
Strike 3 called.
Emphatically.
Now batting for the Spartans, Casey Spalding.
As Casey Spalding now comes into the batter's box for Mountain View. Mercedes Collar got her first out. And that one's a little high. It's a good stop by the catcher. Not that Mountain View has anybody on base.
As long as there's not somebody.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Swing and strike for Casey. And the pitch. Strike 3 called. Catches just barely the outside of the plate.
Now batting for the Spartans, Leilani Kanialu.
Third baseman Leilani comes into the batter's box for Mountain View. It's well outside for ball 1. Lancer's still on top of this, 6-0. Couple of errors by Mountain View in the first inning led to a 4-0 start. Lancers tacked on a couple more in the second, making it 6-0 for the Lancers. Mountain View has threatened in the first, but hasn't had much pressure since, and would love to be able to get Leilani on base. That one's a little short. Leilani pulls back, making it 3 balls, 1 strike. That one's foul, and that's going to make it a full count. Strike 3 called.
Strike 3
Barely
called
catches the corner.
As a varsity softball pitcher, Mercedes strikes out the side.
Well done to Mercedes Caller, who strikes out the side to close out the top of the 4th. Lancers lead 6-0. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th. Welcome to the bottom of the 4th here at St. Francis High School, where Meliana Leongatao is sophomore for St. Francis, who will lead it off for us. She took strike 1 and now takes strike 2. Ball 1. Allison Marcelino's ahead of the pitch count. Perhaps finding her groove here in the 4th. Strike 3 called. Swinging strike 3.
Allison Marcelino with the strikeout. Now batting for the Lancers, Maya Meltz.
Maya Meltz comes up. Maya did get on base her first time up and hits a pop fly this time, calling for its first base, and makes the catch. And that's going to be out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now batting for the Lancers, Arica Gunsagar.
Gunsagar now stepping into the batter's box, got on base twice today and scored once. Shows bunt, pulls it back. It's going to take ball 1. And foul ball for strike 1. As that ball just went doink off the top of the fence here. And that one's hit into the outfield, into the eyes of Raven in the outfield. And that'll be out number 3 for Mountain View, who is now coming up to the plate in the top of the 5th. When we come back, Lancers up 6-0. Top of the 5th here in St. Francis High School, where the St. Francis Lancers lead 6-0. Mountain View trying to get on the board as Sherpa, first baseman Sherpa, is now at the batter's box. Swinging strike one. She's not afraid to swing. She hits that one to the outfield. That'll be one, maybe two. She's going around. She's coming to second base, and she'll get there with ease. And Mountain View in scoring position to start off the fifth.
Double. Now batting for the Spartans, Lucille Hutchins.
Lucille Hutchins, the catcher for Mountain View, now stepping into the batter's box. As Sherpa's pulling off second base. And Mountain View, or excuse me, the Lancers do threaten. Bunted ball, that's going to go backwards for a foul ball, which will count as strike number two for Hutchins. This is the first game of the season for both of these teams. That's strikeout, I believe, number 4.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Now batting for the Spartans, Courtney Napo.
Let's see. That's right. This is strikeout number 4 for Mercedes Collar, who just came into the game last inning for the St. Francis Lancers. Courtney Napo is in the batter's box for Mountain View. Mountain View does have a runner on second. Shows bunt. That one goes back. Courtney trying to advance the runner. They are pretty far behind. They may need to swing at a few of these. Courtney takes strike 3. There's not much wiggle room left to advance a runner, as there's 2 outs in the top of the 5th here for Mountain View. Annika Upade steps into the batter's box for Mountain View. Takes a strike 1. Mercedes peers in, throws the ball, and that's a strike. It's right on the outside corner of the plate. Good pitch from Mercedes. Swinging strike that time.
Another strikeout to end the inning.
And that'll end it.
On the 5th, coming up next.
That'll end the top of the 5th as the Lancers still lead 6-0. We'll be right back. Welcome back. To the bottom of the 5th here at St. Francis. First game of the season. St. Francis has always had a really good softball team, and they're showing it today. As that one gets railed right into the outfield. I believe that's number 11, Jamie Oakland. Made it all the way to second base. We do have a new pitcher for Mountain View. Caroline Kim is now pitching for Mountain View. And Peyton Sow steps into the batter's box for St. Francis. Peyton Sow had a few big hits today. Has driven in 4 of the 6 runs for the Lancers. And that pitch goes into the dirt and advances the runner from second to third. Jamie Oakland now at third, and Peyton Sow stepping into the batter's box. Caroline Kim with a shaky start here. Ball number 2. Hutchins drops that one, but was able to recover. A little change up that time from Caroline Kim. Still ball 3. Just trying to play it easy with Sao in the batter's box, who has a big monster swing. He's dented a couple cars already today. Strike 2, full count on Peyton Sao. Let's see what Kim decides to do here. Way outside. That'll be a walk.
Ball 4. Now batting for the Lancers, Ava Bulanti.
Ava Bolani steps into the batter's box for St. Francis High School, as they have runners on the corners.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That's just streaming.
Bottom of the 5th. We got a runner going to second. Ball goes foul. Pretty close to the camera, man. Speaking of the cameraman, that is Breen Wynn. We also have Margaret Lane. Runners going to second and stolen base.
Peyton Sao on the steal.
We have Margaret Lane behind the first base camera and Breen Wynn behind the second base camera. Or first base camera, excuse me. That one's lined right into the outfield, right up the middle. That'll bring in not one, but 2 scores for the Lancers.
Ava Bulanti with an off-the-wall bases clearing single.
Ava Bolani stays at first.
Now batting for the Lancers, Hayden Hummel.
Hayden Hummel's coming up to the batter's box. It's going to be 8-0 Lancers, the bottom of the 5th.
You're still broadcasting. Yeah, the cameras aren't recording.
Caroline
They're broadcasting
Kim
to the sling, and the sling is recording.
looking to record her first
You know,
out.
both cameras are showing half battery. Yeah, we should probably some close on both sides.
Marina
Umpire.
Garcia pinch running for Ava Bulanti.
Got a pinch runner in for Ava Bolani. First pitch is going out and right above the dugout for the Lancers.
Camera 2, can you pan out just a little bit? A little blurry. There we go.
Number 18, Marina Garcia, is our pinch runner on first base. Hayden Hummel is up to bat. And here goes our runner to second base as the ball sailed
Marina
past
advances
Hudgens.
on the wild pitch.
Caroline Kim trying to find her way out of this inning here. Good stop that time by Hutchins. Three balls, 1 strike. That one goes straight to third. Excuse me, shortstop. That went straight into the hands of the shortstop.
Base awarded to Hayden Hummel.
The umpire said it was a legal pitch. And on the illegal pitch, the runner will make it up to first base, so that will not be recorded as an out.
Cam Elliott.
Caroline Kim still looking for her first out. Coming up to bat is Cam Elliott. Runners at first and second. Bottom of the fifth, nobody out. Marina Garcia fell down at second base, and Mountain View was not able to capitalize. There we go, ball one, strike one. There we go. Now ball one, strike one. Strike two for Caroline Kim. Cam Elliott waits for the delivery. That's ball two. Runners at first and second. Full count, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth. Lancers lead 8-0. Foul ball. Proven to be a tough out is Cam Elliott. And that'll be a walk. Another walk for Caroline Kim. Second one of the inning, as
Cam Elliott
the
with the
catcher
walk. Bases
causes
are loaded.
a timeout. So that'll load the bases for number 11, Jamie Oakland. Jamie was able to reach.
Substitution now hitting for the Lancers.
Excuse
Maddie
me, number
Frieden.
17. Maddie Frieden is coming into the batter's box. Looking at full bases.
Camera three, we're going to follow the runner into home and then try to catch the other runners as they come in.
The crowd goes silent. Runners hold. Bases are full. Nobody out. Maddie Frieden coming in to bat for the first time this season. Caroline Kim, this is her first inning pitching and still looking for her first out. The Lancers are looking to take advantage. One ball, two strikes. Ball goes foul. First and third base. Ball gets past Hutchins again. As you can hear in the background, a lot of the players on the Mountain View side are encouraging Caroline Kim to close it out. This is a full count. That one goes foul. Maddie Frieden is battling here in the batter's box. Full count. Bases loaded. Swing and a miss. And that is the first out for
Maddie goes
Carol
down, swing.
Kim. Coming in to bat for the Lancers now is Brooke Wiegand.
Substitution now batting for the Lancers, Brooke Wiegand.
They get the theme song.
And the ball slips out of the hands of Caroline Kim. And that is considered a ball. Bases are still loaded. Ball 2 for Caroline Kim. With Brooke Wiegand, senior, coming to the plate. Ball goes through the legs of Hutchins. That'll be ball number 3. Mountain View in danger of walking a run in. And there it is.
Ball 4, run comes in.
That is the third walk.
For whoever that next batter is.
Now batting for the Lancers, Emmy Yumima.
15.
Coming into bat is Emmy Yumima. Emmy Yumima is a freshman, getting her first at bat of the year. And that one is going just foul for strike 1. Ball 1, strike 1. You can see Emmy is not afraid to swing. Base is loaded here in the bottom of the 5th, where Lancers lead 9-zip. And check swing also goes foul for strike number 2. Good stop that time by Hutchins as the ball goes into the dirt, or what would otherwise be dirt, as St. Francis does have turf. That one goes right into the outfield, all the way to the wall, and that'll clear the, oh, we have stoppage.
Emmy Yumima with a big hit, which will seal the game. Lancers win 10-0.
And that will induce the mercy rule. It is 10-0, and that is how our game will end today.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out.
Thank you for everyone who helped with this game today. I'd like to thank our camera crew, Breen Nguyen and Margaret Lane. I'd like to thank our director today, Curtis Meacham. I am Josh Young, and you're watching KMVT Sports. It is 10-0 Lancers will take this game today. See you next time.